Good evening, everybody, and my fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth. I am looking at I guess they just updated the Alexa app, which is completely and totally messed up, like the universe on here. Oh, kind of like that. Near Echo devices. I don't even know what this thing's talking about. It's kind of cool, actually. It's in real-time text. Huh. Who knew? Apparently, I can get Alexa to read books to me, which is useful. I mean, not totally useful, but I can draw now while reading books. That's useful. All right, well, that's cool. I'm just saying that's cool. All right. Where did my mouse go? There's where my mouse went. Switch to the drawing monitor so we can get back to work where we're for. I like the idea that it'll read Kindle books to me. And that's actually kind of kick butt. Not gonna lie. I like that one a lot. All right, well, that's the thing. I have quite a few like random books in here. .1 is CPR Classical Kubo. Yeah, that's good. I don't even know what K-Love is. I'm not going to find out. Altitude Sports Radio. 94.7. I know what KRKS is, though. It's KYGO. In high def, no less. Can add you to a list. Pop Culture Radio. All Hits Radio. Classic Rock Radio. Oh, hey, you got 80s rock. I'm in. 80s pop. If sleep. Disney Favorites Radio. 90s country. I don't know what to think about that. Link. New services. Well, you already kind of know my Spotify stuff, so I guess you don't need to worry about it that much. I mean, really. All right. Well, there's that. All right. Getting back to work at the worky part. We've already kind of gone through these 3 pages. And we've got these 2 pages kind of figured out too. And what I'm really doing here is just writing them out. I don't script like normal people anymore. I used to, but I really don't. I'm feeling like my weather app has not re-engaged in a while. All right. I'm just wondering why I'm also not seeing anything over here. I don't know if we're actually like broadcasting or not. I have no idea. I cannot hear my music. Now it's time for us to actually bring up the deck plans, and everybody thinks I'm funny for having deck plans of this ship. Until now, when I need to figure out where the bathrooms are. See? Now who's laughing, right? Aren't we glad that I made the deck plans so that I can look these all up? I swear this is the reason why I do these things. Nobody believes me. There we are. I'm going to put her on portside VIP quarters, which is here. Waste room is through the forward mess on the right. So let's put that in there. And they don't call it bathrooms. Right? Showers are here. She's going to be here. Okay, nothing is synchronizing. All of these are saying that they are still synchronizing with OneDrive, and I uploaded them to OneDrive 2 weekends ago. It's been 2 weeks. OneDrive is not working. Something is very wrong with OneDrive. Close OneDrive and then reopen it. Um, cannot tell if I'm getting any kind of anything in here. I feel like I've done work out here and I can't see it. No. Hey there, Brent. Every ship you've been on had like a little bar of some sort on board, right? Nah, I'm just fixing one thing. Well, yeah, but like, I guess would there be a bar-ish thing? I mean, it wasn't mess, like a place to let your hair down. I don't know. I'm thinking of in Mash, what's her name's place. And I know that Mash is not the world's most accurate depiction of a military base, but still, sort of trying to kind of get that idea. And wasn't there like, I mean, a 10 forward. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. In my world, there can be, and that's totally fine. There's a 10 forward in Star Trek, so the precedence is there. As in the precedence to have it in the spaceship universe or whatever. Yeah, the problem, of course, is, and this is something I've been thinking about a lot, there's weeks between ports all the time. And there's no way to get out of the tin can. You know what I mean? And so my first thought was I think we'll have to come up with a better way of dealing, because you can't just say, well, it's the Navy, you know. But I mean, I have a buddy who served on a sub, and I mean, he was okay with it, but it still sounds kind of like, hey, mashing. Yeah, I mean, like I went on ahead and like over here, I put in like hot springs sort of things with a little like green grass place to run around in and just exist. And I'm going to put, like the walls all have television screens effectively all around it so that it can give the effect of an open air pool and things like that. Because it occurs to me that you're on the boat for a long, 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 long time. Moreover, when you're on the boat, you're kind of stuck there for a very long time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, except they don't have I mean, they do have holodeck technology. Obviously, they could just holograph anything anywhere. But in this instance, they just can use the problem I've got is that having seen the AR walls now that are being used in both Star Wars and Star Trek, I can see that if you have two people in the room, 2 points of view, it'll be very hard to depict a far away, a forced perspective thing. So my thought was you'd be far enough away from any one of these places that it wouldn't matter. But I was thinking about this and I'm like, we could have a little like bar right here. Not a big bar, just a little one. So I was actually working over here and I was saying, the quartermaster says, you'll be located in the VIP quarters to port. The waste room is through the mess hall to your right. Showers are behind us. Right. So looking at the deck plans, the port side VIP quarters is right there. So we're talking about the waste room is here. And then of course the showers are behind us here. I was just trying to like figure out relative to where everything else is. And then I was like, well, and don't go too far down the hallway or you'll end up in the bar. And wait, we have a bar? You know, sort of thing. When did we get a bar? I was like, I better put that in. Yeah, this is the kitty wake. I mean, this is definitely the kitty wake. We're just close to the... Did I show you the thing? I should show you the thing at some point that I got from the convention. Yeah, no, this is definitely the kitty wake. We're just down on the quarterdeck. Because see, we start out in the beginning of this issue with the comic, and she's up on the gun deck in medical. So the quartermaster's taking her down here, and it puts her on the quarterdeck right here. So at least he's already walked through this zone to put her here. So he's probably pointed to the waste rooms here. And food service is right there. So, I mean, she can at least eat. Oh, noes. Are they railroading? Or is the friend just, is the DM just like not good at explaining the rules? Is that what's going on? That's rough, Mashing. Sorry, man. Oh. Oh, I get that. Yeah. I've been there. Not, I mean, I've had DMs like that. That one is tough. Because of course, if you say much, they're going to feel like you're crushing their beautiful world that they've created, and so you don't want to do that necessarily, but then again, you're kind of like, bro, I'm just saying, appreciate your world and all. What I would do is, if it was me, I would take them aside and say, hey, I love your world and everything about it. This is so cool, but you're railroading us, and it's no fun if we're railroaded. Right? Are the players all new? So like none of them are familiar with D&D rules? Did you and um right. Did you have a session 0? That's, I think, like really critical. I think that's a very useful thing, though. I mean, if you're helping out by saying, hey guys, kind of look at what we can do here. I know that my most recent game, I've been playing a bard, and I don't usually play magic classes because I get confused a lot about the rules. The rules confuse me a whole lot. And so I tend to stay away from the magic classes, but this is the first time I've kind of stretched out to play the magic classes. And it's been really useful to have that one person say, hey, have you tried using your bardic inspiration? This would be a good time for that sort of things, to me, because I'm like, what do I know? I'm an idiot. Because I usually just play fighters because the magic system really messes with my head. I think the really big thing that makes me mad usually is that a first level spell is not necessarily for a first level character. And when you're a second level character, you can't just cast second level spells. You have to actually have like the slots for it. You know what I mean? Like, that's so confusing. I'm like a 12th level character and I can only cast third level spells, and it's just, I don't understand all these things, sort of stuff. So that always freaked me out. So my thought is, if you didn't have a session 0, right, that works. If you didn't have a session 0, then maybe it might be good to say, hey, can we real quickly have a session 0? I feel kind of like we missed something, and go back to sort of this is how the game works, and here's a sample of how attack rolls work, and things like that. And especially if you've got magic casters, because I can't tell you how confused I get with a stupid magic system. And in mashing, I've been playing D&D since frickin' 1987. So like, there's really no excuse for why I cannot play magic users, other than I'm dumb. Well, I'm not really dumb, but sure does feel like it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you guys all understand all these rules, and I don't understand any of them. So, yeah, I would highly recommend a request to play session 0 stuff with your GM, and see if your DM will go with that. Because there's nothing less fun than being stuck in a game where you're like, I don't understand any of this stuff. Oh, good heavens. Yeah, we had that problem in my game as well, and that was that the DM didn't know some of the things that the players were trying to do. Mm-hmm. Right? There's a simple 1+1 on that one that does work really nicely. And I agree. And I think that your GM is unfortunately overcomplicating a game by not helping on that one. I agree with you. Making it more difficult. Is it clear that the other players are not having fun? Because sometimes you just have those people. You got those people that just like chaos. They're just like, this is so much fun. I kill the bartender, and you're like, why would you want? Why are you killing the bartender? You know what? Oh yeah. Okay, so first go ask your DM if they are open to suggestions. They may not be, and you can go, oh, okay, and you try. You did your best. You did your bit for King Country there. Next, if your DM is open for suggestions, say, hey, I'm just noticing that you're kind of losing the guys here on this. And I don't know if that's something you're concerned about or not, but I can give you some pointers if you'd like on that. You know, and then if they're like, yeah, thanks, but I don't need that, you can say that's fine, that's fine. But you tried. But I would definitely say, hey, I know that you've got a lot in here. Break it up into bite-sized units. Like let them go through one stack of world at a time. Excuse me. And then I would also say, hey, and I just, just observing, but you know, we I love the world you're generating. It is incredible, but this may be too much world for beginners in this one. So you may want to tone it back. And I might even say, I'm just noticing that people are having a hard time staying focused on this. And I get it. It's a complicated world, and try to empathize a little bit because you do. You've been there. You've done this one before. You're an experienced DM. So this isn't right. Well, and maybe you just need to like get it out of your system too. You can tell me, you can tell me that I just need to vent. Please let me vent, and I'll be like, oh, sorry. Like I could totally do that too. Sometimes I just like, I really just want to vent now. Can I please just vent? Yeah, I'd pull the DM aside and say, hey, bro, bro, bro. Unless you're younger, at which time apparently you say bra. That's just a thing. I'm learning these terms, you see, from my child. I don't know if any of that helps you any, but that would be what I would do. Definitely, though, I can see this being sort of a fun spoiling sort of thing. So I think you're in the right to go in there and say, hey, can we do something about this that doesn't involve being boring? Mm-hmm. Well, if they're having a problem with a longer campaign, then I would recommend asking them if they wanted to have it edited. Because I feel for this one. This is one I definitely feel for, right? I mean, there are times where, as my buddies say, you have to kill your babies. You know, you love this campaign, but you really just need to. In the nature of the campaign, you're going to need to, for the good of it, do something about it. And I think that's and it's hard. I know, because I mean, there's like a whole bunch of stuff in my comic here that I'm like, oh, I've got to put this in, and then you realize there's no point. It doesn't help any, you know. I feel like that's sometimes just what you got to do. And I would kind of pose it that way. Right. I would pose it to them that way by saying, "Hey, I get it. It's not cool to have to, kill off all of these things, but bro, you gotta, because it's kill. You're gonna kill the campaign this way." I've done that one too. Totally on board with that one as well. right? All the skills that I have, my procrastination skills are. I forgot to write this down, so I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know if Brent's still here. Are you still here, Brent? I went today to Colorado University in Boulder and went through the orientation process. First step in me returning to college, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to get my PhD finally after all of this time. I'm done grumping and griping and being mad. I'm going to do something about it. Proud of myself for it. So there. Oh, yeah. Power creep is such a weird thing. I mean, not a weird thing as in I don't understand it. It's just such a weird thing to stay away from. Keep it out of your story. I get that one a lot. This really should be harder than that, but it isn't. Dig. Um, so story-wise, you make your stronger enemies dislike civilians, which makes it easy because then they don't want to be near those creepy, smelly humans or whatever. That at least would make some sense as to why why you don't have the stronger alien or stronger enemies. Did I say aliens? I meant enemies. Why you have your stronger enemies near the civilians. The further away from those civilians you get, the more you're going to run into the enemies. The thing that's cool about that one also is you could have the enemies legitimately getting ticked off about these, your party. Your party people are like, why are you always in my place, dude? Lay off, stop, go away, sort of thing. But then they're like, well, this is like party number 65. That's it. We're going to kill you because you keep invading our place. That would be what I would do. I also absolutely despise when they do the thing in games where you enter into this room and there's 12 goblins. And you enter into this room and there's 2 space slugs. And you enter into and you're like, what were the 12 goblins doing in that room? This is always the first thing I think of. So whenever I do campaigns, you enter into this room and there's 5 goblins playing poker. At least that makes some sense. They'd all be in this room playing poker. That seems like something, as opposed to 5 goblins just standing there waiting for the first guy to come through the door. Yeah, I like to make stories like that because, really, what? You know. Yeah, but it could also be a smell thing. You know what I mean? Like the demons don't like the smell of. Could be the demons don't like the smell of the herd animals. I mean, humans and civilization tends to always come with cows and sheep and goats, and I mean, like there's all kinds of critters. So like they could also be doing the I don't like the smell. I'm stuck on the smell because it's funny. You don't have to. Your mileage may vary. As I often say in my classes, your mileage may vary. Do what you feel is right. There we go. Now I've added something to indicate grass or something down here. But now you can see the open spots. This is important because the first part of episode 2 starts out here in these pools. So I'm going to have to build this set. And so I'm sitting here kind of looking at it going, okay, wanting to build this set, how am I going about it? Also, why is water reclamation crooked? That's all right. So here is when it comes to world building, don't feel bad. What you do is you run the whole thing in your brain, and if they ever trip over it, they trip over it. If they don't, they don't. The number of things that are running right now in the world of Bellatrix Rising is that people will never see, but I will always make it consistent. For example, I didn't have to make these deck plans, but now when I put this here, the line that's right here is the quartermaster is saying you'll be located in the VIP quarters to the port. The waste room is through the mess hall to your right. Showers are behind us, right? Which now makes sense because if you look at here, here's the port side VIP quarters. He's standing right here. She's standing right here. He's saying the waste room is to the right here. And the showers are down the hallway behind us. So they're facing kind of crooked like this. So it's behind us and this way where the showers are. And it doesn't matter. For the casual reader, it doesn't matter whether the quartermaster says the waste room is to the left, to the right, or anything. But it matters to me. And so you'll never know that this is correct. Who knows? It's totally fine. But I know exactly where she is. She's in the VIP quarters. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And world building is world building, man. To me, world building is like the beautiful things. The beautiful things. World building is the beautiful things. I loves the world building. Maybe a little too much. I'm just saying. Okay. I love world building though. I need to build. Why doesn't it have my... Sometimes I wonder about things. Like, why don't things do the things that they're supposed to do? Why do they have to be weird? Now I'm doing housekeeping. Okay, no problem. You too, Mashing. Good night. I'm doing all this invoicing now. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. What the heck am I doing? Does anybody know? I'm like, really? That's the one, right? Yes. Isu. It is. Okay. Loose edges. Ends. Loose ends. Oh, yeah. Why did I think she was in starboard, though? I guess it doesn't really matter. The only problem I have with these 10:30 at night sessions is that on days like today, where I've been traipsing around on, I went. So today I went to Colorado University Boulder campus and took the tour. And I think the most interesting thing about my experience with the tour was that it was, well, I mean, for one, I think the funniest part about it was they all thought I was somebody's dad. So they broke us into little teams, and there's 5 kids, probably 6 to 10 parents, depending on whether both parents came or just one, and then me. And so, she goes around and what do you want to major in? And what do you want to major in? What do you want to, going through, and some of these kids are, I don't know. I guess I'll poke around until I find something. And, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. And all of these things. And she skips over me completely because I guess I'm just somebody's dad. It's like, if you'd asked me, would have told you I'm going for my PhD in cultural anthropology. And she would have been like, what? Because, of course, all these kids are looking for a bachelor's. And I'm sitting there going, screw bachelor's. I'm going for my PhD all the way down the pike here. You know, this is a big push for me. And we're going to do this plausibly in the next 6 years if we can. There's a 5-year master's program. So 5 years to graduation on master's. PhD is generally 2 more years after that, so 7 years to PhD. And I asked him, is there a 6-year to the PhD thing if there's a 5-year to him for the master's degree? I don't know. We'll see. Because they didn't know that the girls who were down there on the floor, they were just sophomores. So they didn't know what was going on necessarily, which is fine. Didn't expect them to. This is kind of a complicated question. So they sent me to the vice principal on this one, effectively. Vice dean? I don't know. Whatever you call it. They sent me to that person, and that person I sent an email to this afternoon saying, well, here's my problem. How can we make this work? Question really is, how do I make it work? I said to this guy, I said, I've been teaching for years. I just can't get a license or a permit until I get a bachelor's. I'm not going to go back and get a bachelor's for no reason. I'm going to go back and get a bachelor's to support my master's and my PhD. I said, so how do I make this work? So I asked him about that. And, ooh, I got you in your tummy, George. Hi, George. George. Hey, George. So, I'm going to see what he says tomorrow. Curious what he says. I peppered him with a ton of questions. I'm like, do you really need my high school transcripts? Because I went to one of those weird schools where we don't talk about transcripts. So there's that. All right, guys. I'm totally spacing out. I am beat. I'll save this. And then I'll save this one too. Yeah, I'm thinking I am spacing completely out, guys. I'm sorry. But it may be time for me to head to bed and see you all on the morrow and just stop a little early tonight. It's not the first time we've done it, nor will it be the last. I'm going to go on ahead and close this out. I'd like to thank all of you guys for joining me today, Mashing. I saw you here, and then we also had Brent here a while back. So we had Brent and Mashing tonight. I appreciate both of you guys being on here. And I'll see you all in the morning. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Good night.